Though time and distance keep us far, you're still my wish, on every star. Old laughs and talks, replay inside, true friendship never says goodbye. Hey, hello, truck simulator lovers. How are you, everyone? I hope everything goes well for you and your family. First of all, I want to apologize for not uploading any videos in a while and for not giving you any updates. Due to I had a lot of things to take care of, so it was really hard to find time for video editing. But now I'm back, and I'm so happy to meet you again, guys. Alright guys, we're back to continue playing Truck Simulator Pro US, the most tiring yet exciting truck simulator game on mobile in my opinion. So, we're currently in the driver private room at the outpost of Washington State in the city of Ellensburg. This private room is much bigger than the original one, since I upgraded the outpost to level 1 and bought some stuff inside. The original one only had a bed, a desk, and a study chair, but you can see the differences with this upgraded room. It has more stuff and a small kitchen. Now we go outside to see our new truck. There it is, our new cab-over truck. Well, today we're going to be working on a cargo mission, using a flatbed trailer which I've parked in the parking lot over there. But before we go further to the job, I want to share my progress of this game with you. So, beside there are 2 additional new trucks in the garage. Now all areas on the map are open, which means now we can explore all 5 states in the game. As you can see here, the state level is 53, and the last 2 states, which are Montana and Wyoming, have opened at level 50. Although all the business places have been found, most of them have not been activated. Still need to work hard collecting map token to activate these places. This is why this game is fun yet exhausting, as I mentioned earlier. About 2 additional trucks. Beside this cab-over truck, I've also bought another long-nosed truck with 4x8 chassis, which I'll drive in the next video. This cab-over model truck is Freightliner Argosy, but in the game, it's named Freeliner Argon. Its newest truck model in this game, launched about 2 or 3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. I have upgraded almost all components of this truck, both on the body and the engine. As you can see here, I've installed the sleeper cabin and simple custom decals to the body to make the truck unique as one of my truck. To be honest, I wasn't really interested in American cab-over trucks at first, but after driving this truck a few times, I fell in love. I think we've seen more than enough of the truck's exterior details. Now we go inside the cabin to see the interior. You know, guys, I was a little surprised. When I entered this cabin for the first time, I never thought the interior would be this modern and luxurious. Although, the TV's model should be the flat one, in my opinion. Alright, guys, now it's time to get to work. Let's see the cargo mission list inside the map. Now we're looking for transporting metal construction materials. Whoops, there it is. Transporting metal construction materials from Spokane, Washington to Kalispell, Montana. So first, we'll drive with the trailer to the metal factory in Spokane to load the cargo. Now we'll hook the truck up to that flatbed trailer in the parking lot. Bismillah. The trailer is connected. Now we're ready to drive to Spokane. Bismillah. Guys, do you remember I mentioned in one of my videos that Freightliner trucks are the most used trucks in the US? Back then, I didn't have one yet. The US Class 8 market is dominated by Freightliner. The truck brand recorded year-to-date decline of about 0.5%, but held a market share of around 36% in 2024. This means that almost 1 in 4 Class 8 trucks in the United States is a Freightliner badged vehicle, quoted from Statista.com. Guys, we've reached our first destination, at the Spokane Metal Factory. Okay, everything is all set. Now we're ready to deliver this cargo to the construction materials factory in Kalispell, Montana. It's almost dusk, so tonight we will stop at a hotel or gas station so the driver can rest and recharge his energy. As seen on the map, tonight we'll stop at the hotel in the city of Sandpoint, Idaho, then continue the trip in the morning. Bismillah. Here we are. We've arrived in Sandpoint City and will stay for tonight at this hotel, recharging the driver's energy. Five hours of sleeping is enough, because we'll get 100% of sleep effectiveness when we sleep at the hotel. All right, the driver's energy is back. Now we're ready to continue the trip to Kalispell, Montana. Bismillah. It seems like the GPS has chosen a longer route. No problem. We'll change it to the shortest one. Guys, we've reached the main destination at the construction materials factory in the city of Kalispell, Montana. We're at the edge of the video, guys. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end. I apologize if the video quality wasn't as good as you expected, but please give it a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and feel free to share it with your friends who might have a common interest in trucking. Last but not least, if any of you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would highly appreciate it if you would consider doing so. Seem like we found another bugs, guys, because the strap tie buttons won't disappear, and the unload button won't appear. So, I guess I have to cancel the manual unloading and skip the process. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos. Take care and stay awesome.